What's up, everybody? Jesse Dietrick here from Fitness Quest 10, and we're in San Diego. Pat, Jack, and I, we have one of the favorite athletes at Fitness Quest 10. Everybody freaking loves this guy. This is going to be his third summer training with us at Fitness Quest 10. Native of San Diego, he just finished his first pro year in the American Hockey League with the Grand Rapids Griffins, and it's a pleasure to have Alec McCrea here. Alec, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, and so Alec just finished his first pro season, like I said. Graduate of Cornell University, played youth hockey here in San Diego with the Junior Gulls, right?
So actually I played first for the San Diego Saints when I was 8 or 9 years old, and then moved up to the Junior Gulls when I was about 12 and played for them until I was 16.
Awesome. What was it like growing up in San Diego playing hockey? I mean, San Diego is not exactly your hockey hotbed. How did you get into it?
Yeah, so roller hockey actually is how I got started. There was a rink. They had wood floors down in Santee, California, which is about 10 miles away from my house in El Cajon. And I started because my buddies were signed up for it, and they were on a team together, so I thought it'd be fun. And I actually started as a goalie. But our team was really, really good. Yeah, our team was really, really good. So I never got any shots, and all my buddies were having fun scoring goals and whatnot. So I was like, I want to get out there. So I talked to the coach, and the coach was like, yeah, we could switch off playing goalie and stuff. And then I played out, and I remember the first game, I wasn't very good yet, but I got a lucky backdoor tap-in goal, and it was like the best moment of my life. So I wanted to be a player from there, and I switched over to ice when I was 9, and they just built the Croc Center in La Mesa, and beautiful arena it still is, and started up travel hockey from there. But it's interesting, I still play roller hockey every single summer when I go back home, and a lot of the roller hockey I play is with the buddies I grew up playing with. So it's it's not a hockey hotbed in the sense of what San Diego is known for, but I love where the game's going, and I love the way the game is growing in San Diego, and the interest it's getting, especially with, a couple of years ago when the LA Kings won the Stanley Cup, and Anaheim Ducks and the San Diego Gulls affiliate team is right there in San Diego. So it's growing, but it's good to see for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, when I first moved out here from Pittsburgh, I didn't know what to expect in the way of hockey, and you know what? I'll tell you what. I think there's more kids that have gone pro out of San Diego than in like the area I grew up in Pittsburgh. Well, I wouldn't really imagine that right away, but like Pat, Jack, you got a son playing hockey here in San Diego, and it's not bad at all, huh?
No, not bad at all. Southern California, and there was seven full sheets of ice. No complaints about that. It's great.
It's awesome. Yeah. So, Alec, growing up in San Diego, I feel like people that are high achievers like yourself, constantly driven, usually have a mentor that you look up to as a kid. Who was your greatest influence growing up?
Yeah, so when I was around 12, 13 playing Pee Wee hockey, I came into contact with a coach named Larry Kahn, and I played under him actually. We had a good Pee Wee team, and played for him into Bantam years. But he introduced me to a player named Alec Martinez, who at the time was finishing up his college career at Miami. And he told me a little background of Alec Martinez. Actually, he told our whole team, and it sounded from Larry's stories that it's a kid he coached in San Jose, and who was he was never really good when he was younger, but he worked hard and persevered through a lot of adversity, and he became obviously an NHL star, and he scored the game-winning goal for the LA Kings a couple of years ago when they won the cup against Henrik Lundqvist, and he has a memorable photo there of him scoring. And just hearing that story for me when I was, especially at that age, when I was beginning to take hockey seriously, that really put things into perspective for me and showed me that it's not necessarily the gifts that you're born with, but the willingness to work hard and persevere through adversity that can help you reach your dreams. So that was a big influence on me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So was Alec Martinez your favorite hockey player growing up then, would you say?
So I was actually a huge LA Kings fan. I was an LA Kings fan ever since my 10th birthday. My dad brought me to a game, and I got my first name printed on the back of a jersey. But I would say my greatest the person I admired most in the league at the time was Anze Kopitar. I just loved the way he played the game, and I feel like he was just a leader in the way he played, and just his puck protection was mesmerizing. And he was probably my favorite player growing up, and still to this day I look up to him for sure. But I think now a player I really admire is Drew Doughty. Love the way he plays the game, and he's so competitive, and he's just a gamer. So I love that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Did you want to add something there, Pat?
Sure, yeah. Alec, you mentioned, hockey players, obviously, and a hockey coach. What about those off the ice? Anyone who has influenced you, a teacher, any other sport? Who else did you find influence from and encouragement and inspiration?
Yeah, so I think away from hockey, there was a lot of influences for me in my life who kind of pushed me and made me excel. And I think the biggest one for me was my father. He he took a lot of time away from his own personal life to help me reach my dreams and make sure that I was in the best possible situation to succeed in. And he was hard on me, but he was always honest with me, and he was always very supportive. And I think during those times I never really appreciated or acknowledged it as much as I should have. But looking back on it, he was the reason why I am where I am here today. And he was definitely my biggest influence outside of hockey.
That's awesome. Now, you've been through a lot. I mean, growing up here, playing roller hockey, ice hockey, junior hockey, college, pro, whether it's in hockey or not, do you feel like there are any constant themes throughout your life?
Yeah, definitely. I think the theme that sticks out to the most is stay true to who you are. A lot of times, especially throughout my life, I've been in situations where, I didn't necessarily know what was going on or the outcome, or everything was changing so drastically in my life. And it was really when I was honest with myself and I stayed true to who I am, that I would find success in anything I did. So, for example, when I moved away from home at 16 years old to play junior hockey, there was a lot of older guys on the team, and it's a new state. You're living with a billet family and whatnot, and it was an adjustment for sure. But I found that when I was just I would be who I am, and the player I was on the ice and off the ice, I would treat people with respect like I always knew how, and I would be myself and be outgoing and really stay true to my core. That's when I found that that's in any walk of life. That's what I have to do, and you're comfortable like that, So when I was in college, I knew that if I stayed true to who I was, I would have success there. And then obviously in pro hockey, your life is always changing. It's good to put yourself in those situations where you don't really know, what the outcome is going to be, or you're a little nervous about everything, but that's where you grow as a person. But as long as you stay true to who you are, that's how you grow the most.